A Grandfather's Story by Tony Angelo. Day 1. Recalling the Diary. Dear Diary, today was a strange but great day. The sun was barely setting below the oak trees at the rear of our garden when Mary and Peter, my lovely grandchildren, came running through the door, their cheeks flushed from playing outside. Laughter filled my home like the smell of fresh cookies, instantly putting me in a better mood. After they settled down, their requests were music to my ears. A request for family stories. Oh, how my heart was gladdened. As the old grandfather, I always felt like it was my duty to narrate our family history. But today, instead of our usual stories, I pulled out an old, tattered diary from the bookshelf. It was my grandfather's, who had emigrated from Lithuania to America a long time ago. The pages were brittle and frayed at the corners, but the subject matter was about bravery, adventure, and peril, something which I knew would captivate my curious grandchildren. "Do you want to hear a tale from this diary?" I proposed, and their eyes lit up with excitement. As we settled into the worn leather couch, I opened up the diary. The smell of the old ink surrounded us, as if the pages themselves were starving to share their secrets. Day 2. The journey begins. From the diary. August 23rd, 1923. Now I pen this, with a sorrowful heart, but a cheerful one. We take a step tomorrow that may change our fates forever. Lithuania disappears from my grasp, like the slipping sands. War winds seep in. People say that the nation dissolves, and even though I adore my nation, I won't be left behind. I can't help but believe that this is our time of reckoning. We'll make it to America, a promised land, they say. Some talk of golden shores and dreams come true. Others of the devil lurking behind the cracks in a smooth facade. I like to think of the former. I have my wife, Lydia, and my children, not my own dreams, but the dreams of the next generation. Lydia sat opposite me, her eyes sparkling with the faint light of our lopsided lantern. "We can risk everything we've gained, my dear, but what we might win could be even more," she said quietly, aided by an unyielding resolve. I gripped her hand, as firm as the land we worked, and nodded. She is my anchor, my guiding star in these stormy seas. Day 3. The Grand Departure. August 24th, 1923. Today is the day of our departure. I awoke to the howling sound of wind outside, as if nature was presenting us with a stormy farewell. The morning was spent racing against time to prepare. We stuffed our few belongings into an old trunk, one at a time, each a memory tied to the life that we are now leaving behind. When I went out to depart, I faced our little village and glanced back. The path we walked daily down to the well, the oak upon which my father had carved our family's initials, the children's laughter playing in the sun, each of these memories sat on my shoulders like weights in my heart. We said goodbye at the central square. Friends and neighbors blessed us and wished us well. I couldn't suppress a shiver of fear when I looked at the faces of the people I loved. What if I never returned? Lydia squeezed my hand and knew that I was motionless with fear. "Forward, my love," she whispered. "Let the stars guide us." It was a moment of courage that made me realize that I had it in me to leap into the unknown. Day 4. The ship. August 28th, 1923. We sailed away on the ship, a huge steel behemoth that creaked and groaned like some ancient creature climbing from slumber. It was not much, a small quarters with others such as ourselves, full of hopes for a new life. But the ocean lay before us like a great blue picture, full of hope and danger. I watched the children, their eyes wide with both fear and wonder, as the ship pulled out. Peter had always liked to hear about the sea, but now it was not so. The waves crashed loudly, and I felt the force of nature, the flow and ebb, the danger and beauty. It was palpable. The journey was not easy at all, however. Each day was a test, the weather turning hostile. Storm clouds enveloped us, and the winds howled, and the ship wobbled and rocked. I glanced around me at the faces, some green with sickness, others clinging to one another in terror. But amidst the chaos, it was my intention to tell stories to the children aboard. I narrated to the kids about the various adventures of brave sailors and legendary sea creatures in the hope of keeping their spirits high. My stories were the anchor that guided us through stormy seas, carrying with us hope when the waves tried to engulf us. Day 5, Unexpected Dangers, September 2nd, 1923. We awoke to shouts and chaos on this ship early today. It seemed we were not traveling alone on this journey. Pirate silhouettes lurked along the seas, out on the horizon. I can barely write as I remember how intensely the terror could be sensed in my very bones. As I saw the cursed flags fluttering in the wind, I could hardly breathe. My heart stood still as the ship erupted into chaos. The fathers shielded their children. The mothers clasped their sons and daughters. And I was helpless. We were stuck in an old tale from the stories my grandfather told me. A young, bold sailor yelled out, "Prepare to defend the ship." Guys ran to grab anything they could use to protect us. I pulled Lydia and the kids close to me and spoke comforting words into their ears, even as mine bolted furiously. They came, raging and thundering, taking our dreams away from us for treasure. There was a battle on the deck, the clashing steel shaking like thunder over the raging storm. We battled for an eternity of an hour, our hearts united against the foe. I fought not just for life, but for the future of my children. They had to learn that bravery existed even in the bleakest of times. The pirates were merciless, but we pushed aside the tempest and fought back with every strength we had. Together, we emerged victorious, but with scars. Day 6, The Lighthouse of Hope, September 5th, 1923. We finally arrived on the shores of America. When the ship came to rest on the ground, relief washed over me. There she was, the Statue of Liberty, glistening in the distance, like a light guiding us home, even though it was a new one. With every step we took on solid earth, I could feel the weight of our past lifting. But along with it, the reality of our new life stood before us. We were strangers in a strange land, hesitant yet eager to lay roots in this boundless possibility. I held my family close to me as we stood in the crowd of people. Laughter from the children permeated the air, along with strange songs and words that I didn't recognize. We took our first steps hand in hand, side by side. Day 7, New Beginnings, September 10th, 1923. It has been a week now that we have been here, and each day brings new tests and joys. But we are no longer the same people we were. Rather, we are creating our own tales here in this new world. Lydia has found work as a seamstress, her nimble hands bringing cloth to life. I have found piecemeal work, working diligently, saving every penny for the future. Our children are adapting too. Mary and Peter enjoy the new friends that they are gaining, with each laugh a witness to their strength. Even now, I can still hear them laughing as they run circles around the park, a sound as sweet as music, a symphony of hope. With this diary in your hands, I will tell our story, a testament to all that we experienced in pursuing our dreams. I will leave it for posterity to pass down, as my grandfather left the same to me many years ago, so that generations to come would know that courage, family, and hope can conquer any obstacle. Day 8. Reflections, September 15th, 1923. As I complete this chapter of my grandfather's diary, I am filled with memories of how much we struggled. Pirates, storms, grand seas, and frights. Each trial was converted to triumph by our unity and courage. Today, as I'm sitting beside Peter and Mary, the sun blazing brightly on our faces with dappled shadows, I smile softly. This is just the beginning, I whisper, holding the diary in my hands. Will there be more adventures, Grandpa? Mary begs eagerly, her eyes wide with awe. Oh, sweetheart, each day is an adventure waiting to be told, I reply, and in my heart I believe that their tales will continue, as ours have, a tapestry woven of love, bravery, challenge, and hope, the very fabric of our family heritage. And as I close the old diary, I look down on my grandchildren, full now of expectation, their imaginations soaring into their own tales. The stories continue, being passed down through generations, turning the pages of time adventure by adventure. Forward,